Life has a way of testing you. They say when you're handed lemons, you make lemonade. But when your wife takes your hard-earned money to buy her secret lover a car, you don't sit quietly. You sell the car, lock down the finances, and remind yourself that you're not someone to be walked over. This story of betrayal has weighed on me for too long, and I'm finally ready to share it. I'm 38, married to Meg, who's 34. We'd been together for 6 years. We didn't have children yet, but had started planning a future we thought we both wanted. What began as a marriage built on love and partnership slowly unraveled into something I couldn't ignore. Deception, lies, and betrayal hiding in plain sight. The first warning came disguised as nothing more than a favor. One afternoon I noticed a $3,800 withdrawal from our joint account. Curious, I dug deeper and found it linked to a car dealership. When I confronted Meg, she had an explanation ready. Her friend Amy had been buying a car, her card declined at the last second, and Meg stepped in to cover the down payment. She swore Amy would pay her back once her bank sorted things out. On the surface it sounded believable, but her dismissive tone and the fact that she hadn't mentioned it before rubbed me the wrong way. She brushed me off, calling me dramatic, and I convinced myself to let it go. But red flags kept surfacing. A week later I saw another suspicious charge. This time $1,100 at an upscale restaurant. Meg claimed it was a team birthday dinner from work, an unspoken office rule. Again, no mention until I asked, and again she accused me of being nosy. Something inside me shifted. I started combing through our bank statements weekly. A month later, I casually asked if Amy had repaid the $3,800. Meg stammered, then muttered that Amy was broke and needed more time. As she walked away, I caught her whispering under her breath, "Didn't know you were checking so closely." That slip told me everything. Then came the most bizarre story of all. One evening, Meg burst through the door sobbing, claiming she had been mugged. According to her, she'd gotten a flat tire, taken the subway, and while walking through an alley had been robbed by 2 homeless men. They supposedly stole her wallet and drained $4,000 from her credit card before she could block it. Strangely, her phone had been miraculously spared. She waved a police report and a bank notification in my face, but something didn't add up. Why didn't she call an Uber? Why take a risky alleyway? I wanted to press, but instead I swallowed my doubts. Not long after, $3,800 reappeared in our account. Meg said Amy had finally repaid her. Then she asked to become the primary holder of our joint account, so she'd get notifications directly. That was the final straw in my gut. I began watching her like a hawk. When she went out for an office party, I used the quiet night to clean up the house. As I organized her closet, I stumbled on car dealership papers, purchase documents in her name with a $3,800 down payment. The same transaction she had sworn was for Amy. My chest tightened. It all clicked. I texted Amy immediately, asking how her new car was. Her confused reply, she hadn't bought one, confirmed everything. Minutes later, Meg called me in a frenzy, already tipped off. When she came home, I laid the papers in front of her. She froze. She tried to deflect, blaming me for spying, but I cut her off. "Who is he? Who are you spending our money on?" At first she denied it, but as I pressed, her facade cracked. Finally she admitted it. The car wasn't for Amy. It was for her affair partner. The mugging? Fake. The dinner? A date. All the lies came tumbling down. The betrayal was like a punch to the gut, but instead of raging, I acted. The next day, I sold the car in her name, still technically mine since I'd paid for it, froze the account, and began divorce proceedings. I wasn't going to let her bleed me dry while spoiling another man. Meg tried everything to reel me back. She cooked, left me notes, even tried seduction. I ignored it all. By the time the divorce papers were served, I had already moved into a new place and transferred the lease of our old apartment into her name. She panicked, crying about how she couldn't afford rent. My response was cold. "Maybe he can cover it. Or maybe you can sleep in the trunk of the car you bought him." When she realized I had emptied the joint account, leaving just enough for bills, she tried withdrawing $10,000. The request was declined. Her furious calls went unanswered. Court proceedings dragged on, but her own confessions buried her. She admitted to the counselor that she had staged the mugging, spent the money on dates, and bought her lover the car to keep him around. Ironically, the man had already ghosted her once he learned about the divorce. She was clinging to me not out of love, but because I was her last safety net. Her spiral was swift. She couldn't keep up rent, had to downgrade, then lost even that. She begged her lover for the car back, but he disappeared. She borrowed money from friends until they cut her off. Eventually, she even tried to claim alimony in court, painting herself as the victim, but my lawyer tore that apart. Months after the divorce was finalized, I got a call from her. Her voice shook with desperation. The car she bought for her lover had been seized by authorities. He had used it in drug trafficking. Since it was still in her name, she was under investigation. She begged me to accompany her to the police station, saying she couldn't face it alone. I let her cry, then told her plainly, "This is your mess. Deal with it." And I hung up. The last I heard, her life was in ruins. Evicted, broke, drowning in debt, and tied to a criminal investigation. Meanwhile, I rebuilt. I poured energy into my career, my health, and slowly my happiness. Meg's betrayal nearly broke me, but in the end it broke her. She lost her marriage, her home, her savings, and even her so-called lover. I walked away stronger, lighter, and free. She reaped exactly what she sowed. Some betrayals cut so deep they scar forever. But they also remind you of your worth. Meg tried to leave me broken. I left her broke. And that, in the end, was justice.